While many of us took a break today, things like crime and accidents don't. That means many first responders are away from their families, trying to keep us safe. TV5's Ronnie Duncan found out what it's like to work the holiday as a police officer or firefighter.
Fire alarm keeps going off. There's no smoke or flames, so they're not sure why.
It's no time to take off for these real-life action heroes. And just like that, these first responders are on the job.
People need us, so 24/7.
While our everyday lives take a pause during Thanksgiving, it's lights, minus the camera, and more like sirens and action for these uniformed heroes of the community. During the holidays, most offices and businesses are closed. However, our first responders are always open and committed to the call.
You know, most of them, even if the day was open, as far as taking the day off, most of them, would rather be here, do their job.
Steve Cobb is a district commander with the Flint Fire Department. Today, he brought in some cookies for some of the staff members at Station 3, while community members donated a Thanksgiving feast. Although it was not a traditional turkey spread with all the trimming, it was okay with Kathy Kovitz, who says this is one sacrifice that she's willing to share with her colleagues.
They're my second family, so it works.
And it works for the community as well. Whenever someone needs the police, EMS, or fire, they are just a phone call away.
We prepare for the worst and we hope for the best every single day.
So while you're at home enjoying your turkey and your family, recognize these men and women in uniform have an obligation to you 24/7, 365 days a year. In Flint, Ronnie Duncan, WNEM, TV5 News.
Some people spend Thanksgiving morning driving, others cooking, but another group spent it going for a nice long run. We'll tell you why coming up.
Find out what one local school is doing to help families in need. That's straight ahead.
And we want to know, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? It's tonight's fast feedback. We'll use some of your comments throughout the show. You're watching WNEM TV5 News at 7 on My 5, serving Freeland, Clio, Midland, and your hometown too. It's coverage you can count on. Dozens helped kickstart their metabolism before the big feast with a nice long run this morning. TV5's Elena Holland went to the 6th annual Early Bird Turkey Trot to see why people lace up their running shoes every Thanksgiving.
and it's the only time of year I can get the hat out.
For Steve Leibfritz, Thanksgiving is for the birds, or bird hats, that is. We caught up with him as he prepared, turkey hat in place, to run for the 20th annual Midland Turkey Trot. He says he loves catching up with past running buddies every year.
I also coach track at the high school at Midland High, and so a lot of our past track athletes that are now college athletes or just runners on their own come down, and we get to see them again and reconnect with your running family and that kind of things.
Whether you're an early bird or just a morning trotter, there's a race and a start time for you.
I think it's awesome. Like, everybody comes out together and runs together. I think it's pretty cool.
Kayleen Kindy and John Syra are training together for 3 half marathons, so they knew they couldn't skip the trot for some extra Thanksgiving sleep.
We run together all the time.
And we thought it would be just cool to do it as a race together.
The Early Bird Trot also collects food for the Midland Community Family Centers. The extra food donated helps the charities get through the winter. And this year, it looks like the runners have met their goal.
So far, it's looking really good. The bins are starting to overflow. Plus, we have lots more packed into our cars that the runners brought to us.
And was a rainy morning enough to keep these trotting turkeys away? Well, of course not.
It's not the greatest, but it works.
It's not snowing.
And for Leibfritz, he says he'll take the rain. It's far better than previous years.
You know what? It's not cold, so we'll take it, right? We're used to the rain, or we're used to the snow, so we'll take when it's 50 degrees almost.
In Midland, Elena Holland, WNEM TV5.
Kroger also donated food to the Midland Community Family Centers in addition to what the Trotters donated. Thousands of people don't have close family and friends they can spend the holidays with. Next, how a local school is making sure they're not alone. While many gather around the Thanksgiving table with family and friends, there are thousands of others who aren't as fortunate. As TV5's Rachel McCrary reports, that's where groups like the International Academy of Flint step in.
That'd be super. Pastor, thank you.
It's a day to be thankful, but for some, it's all about giving back. Art Winslaff of the International Academy of Flint coordinates Thanksgiving dinner for over 600 people.
And it's a wonderful event in a number of ways.
Art says that this whole event couldn't be possible without the help of the community. The Flint Food Bank donates the food, local churches and the MTA of Flint donates transportation. Vernon Beasley is helping coordinate getting people to the event.
Well, I'm in charge of making sure everybody gets here. If anybody get missed, I'll send the bus back to them and pick them up.
The clothing and entertainment are donated as well, and the good-hearted volunteers cook all the great food.
Today I'm slicing pies and cakes and making punch.
This is just a great day. It's a blessing
to be able to service the community.
Addition to Thanksgiving dinner, the International Academy of Flint is also giving over 250 boxes full of food to families in need.
I'm doing what I can to make certain that people not only get a wonderful meal on Thanksgiving, which we all deserve, but they can also pick up a package of food or clothing, and that's what I'll be helping with today.
19,000 pounds of food were donated to the school for Thanksgiving. With the help of the community and volunteers, Winslap is expecting Thanksgiving to go off without a hitch.
Folks with a meaningful opportunity on Thanksgiving to enjoy themselves with a box of food that they'll get, of course, as well as a hot, great, safe meal.
Happy Thanksgiving. Rachel McCrary, WNEM TV5 News.
Earlier in the show, we asked, what are you thankful for this holiday? Julie says she's thankful for God being good to her and blessing her with a great family. Susan is thankful for our troops and their sacrifices so that we may all have our freedoms. And Christy says she's thankful for a roof over her head, a job she may or may not like depending on the day, and of course, her family and friends are safe. We still want to hear from you. Just head to the TV5 Facebook page.
Certified most accurate by Weather Rate. Now your First Warn 5 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman.
All right, good Thursday evening, everyone, and most importantly of all, a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're enjoying your holiday out there and staying dry, because at this point, some heavier rain beginning to roll its way back into mid-Michigan, and this is really going to be the main event of this storm system following the showers that we've been seeing on and off for about the last 24 hours. This is kind of the main push of the rain, really, so to speak. Here's a look at things tonight on your First Warn 5 Pinpoint Doppler radar, live from MBS in 3D. Starting you off with a look around the Tri-Cities to the I-69 corridor, where any earlier showers have backed off for the time being. It's essentially all dry and very, very mild, as we'll show you in just a moment, from the Tri-Cities to Flint and through the Thumb. But we head a little bit farther to the north and west, and it's a completely different story for the other half of the area, the northwestern half of mid-Michigan, from Clare to Mount Pleasant all the way through Gladwin and West Branch. Right now, we're seeing an intense pocket of very heavy rain beginning to roll in. Wouldn't be surprised, too, given the dynamics of this system, to maybe have a couple of embedded rumbles of thunder there as well. And these are going to be continuing to move to the north and east, so watch out along US 10 through Midland County, up through Aranac County eventually in the next 45 minutes to hour or so, and really area-wide, as this entire swath of rain we can see here all the way back on the wide view, really only just getting going across mid-Michigan. Lots more headed our way in the next 12 hours or so. We'll jump outside real quick here tonight, take a live look over the downtown Saginaw area, get a load of these temperatures. 55 degrees. As Drew was alluding to earlier, he's at the Birch Run Outlets tonight ahead of the Black Friday shopping. Just a lot better, to say the least, than where we were last year, even with the rain. Currently, it feels like 51, but get a load of the winds. Turning on the stronger side, south at 20 miles per hour sustained, gusting to as high as about 25 miles per hour. Heading to Bay City, pretty much the same story, still very, very mild, 57 degrees. You can see the camera getting knocked around a little bit, but still feeling plenty good even with those winds. And our last stop will bring us to the Flint area, blowing everybody else out of the water. Dry roads on I-75, but get a load of that temperature. 60 degrees on this Thanksgiving evening. Jumping back out to the big picture here tonight on your temperature maps, 55, I should say, to Port Hope and Bad Axe. Low 50s, though, where it is beginning to rain for areas around Oscoda and Houghton Lake. 54 in Mount Pleasant, but also getting closer to that 60-degree mark. Of course, we have it in Flint, but 58 in Owasso and a nice pleasant 56 in Alma tonight. It's all courtesy of an increasingly strong southerly flow across the region tonight. Winds, for the most part, sustained in many locations at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, but we will see them increase to about 10 to 20 or more as we go through the next 24 hours. And here's why. Prominent cold front cutting all the way from northeastern Canada straight down through the plains and even into the Four Corners region, allowing this tremendous blast of cold air to come in behind it. But more importantly, out ahead of it, it's tapping into some Gulf of Mexico moisture. And you can see we've essentially just got one long train of moisture going on here. So lots more rain headed our way as this front continues to sag its way to the south and east. But get a load of the temperature gradient with this thing. This is the much, much bigger story. We go from 60 degrees in Chicago tonight. You head to just the other side of that cold frontal boundary, and it's 34 in Des Moines, and it continues to get colder. Teens in Fargo and in Pierce, South Dakota. Single digits, 5 degrees in far northwestern North Dakota tonight. All of that air is headed our way, ahead of course, or behind, I should say, this massive rain, which will be with us through most of our Black Friday. So shoppers, be prepared to deal with some of that weather, and we may even see tomorrow afternoon some snowflakes mixing in as well. Our rainfall totals tonight going to top possibly an inch or more in some locations. So again, just bear that in mind. We'll see an overnight low of about 52 degrees. Temps fall throughout the day tomorrow, and we dry out but get cold for the rest of the holiday weekend. Meg, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Brian. All new on TV5 News at 10 right here on My 5. The Black Friday frenzy is underway. We'll take you to one of Mid-Michigan's busiest spots as shoppers head out looking for deals. You may have noticed something different around the Thanksgiving dinner table this year. A look at the newest trend in the world of brews and booze. Thanksgiving for a local family almost ruined after their garage caught fire while smoking a turkey. We'll hear how they made the most of the day anyway. Top stories in tomorrow's forecast, always in the first 10 minutes every night on WNEM TV5 News at 11. A zoo in Australia is thankful tonight for the birth of one of the rarest monkeys in the world. That's right, meet Nangua, which is Mandarin for pumpkin. Isn't he cute? The bright orange Francois Longour was born a couple weeks ago and is now being shown to the public for the very first time. These leaf monkeys are native to China but are nearly extinct because of poaching and habitat loss. As Nangua gets older, he'll lose that beautiful orange coat.
Oh,
He's
well,
so
still,
cute.
yeah, he stands out.
Yeah.
Look at him. As for our weather, as nice as today has been, Drew alluded to it, our high last year on Thanksgiving was 36. So I think we're doing better in that regard. The problem is we're going to see some steadier rain. It's already moving in some areas. And don't be too fooled by that 52. That will be the high tomorrow morning. By afternoon, we're going to see that drop into the middle or upper 30s. So it's going to be a pretty steep drop off, and it's going to be cold for the second half of the weekend, but at least we'll get the rain out of our system.
Goodness, a complete nosedive tomorrow.
Sure is, yep.
All right, thank you, Brian, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Thanksgiving. We'll see you at 10.